Yo guys, welcome back. It is Ripe again, back with more r/idontworkherelady. Since we got a lot of new subscribers lately, I would like to say welcome to the channel. And in case you don't know, subscribers around here are called Ripe Stars. So that means feel free to post some stars in the comments if you enjoy the stories. But now let's dive right in. Lady called me at home and demanded to speak to my supervisor. I just found the subreddit and I thought I would share my story. Just a fair warning, I'm an a-hole and I'm proud of that fact too. I work in IT and for a while I was having problems with people I'm related to passing around my phone number to their friends saying I'm free tech support. I got most of those calls to stop by telling them I do charge. And then one day I get a call from a lady whose bob cut I can hear over the phone. I am playing video games with my son on my day off and the call comes in on my cell phone. And I catch the call. Hello, Karen?
I'm looking for tech support. I'm having trouble with my electronic signature in Adobe.
Me, sorry, I cannot help you with that. You're gonna have to call a tech support business. Have a good day. I hang up and I go back to playing games with my son. A moment later, the phone rings again, same number as last time. I answer it. Hello, Karen, now yelling,
I want to speak to your supervisor right now.
I decide my son does not need to hear this, so I take the call into the bathroom and close the door. I then say to her, where did you get this number from? Karen,
from your mother.
Me, listen to me, you self-centered Karen. You called me at home on my cell phone. This is not a tech support business. This is my personal time with my family. Don't call this number again. If you don't like it, then you can go complain to my mother. She should not be giving out my number anyway. Karen,
but I need help with my signature.
Me, learn to use a effing pen. And I hung up and then I went back to play games with my son. My mom called a short time later and asked why I was rude to one of her friends. I told her that all her friends are idiots and hung up. Definitely a sense of entitlement there as well, because the mom thought that all her friends are entitled to free tech support. But now let's continue.
Give him your fries.
Disclaimer, events in this tale are true, however, dramatic effect, shortening of certain conversations or embellishment of details have been done to add to the entertainment of our dear readers and to protect potential IRL spoilers. Oh, the joys of children. Let me correct that. Oh, the joys of extremely spoiled children who are never reprimanded. I work in IT in a medium-sized town in the southern United States. The company I work for does not have a very strict uniform requirement other than a shirt with our logo on it and for us to not look like bums. This story takes place at a nice local restaurant that is known for its healthy foods that cater to the local college population from the next city over. It's a great place to eat and I tend to take my lunch there often, as such I've come to be on a first name basis with the restaurant staff. The restaurant uniform is fairly simple. The waiters/waitresses wear a black collar shirt with the diner's logo on the front right off the shirt. I stopped by today to eat and as luck would have it, I had chosen my black collared work shirt this day. Though the dinner prides itself on healthy foods, they do have a few items on the menu that are heart stoppers. All ingredients and nutritional values are listed quite clearly. As much as I like my healthy eating, I decided to go with one of these items. Today's choice, gourmet French fries. Hand shredded and breaded potatoes cooked to perfection, covered in a home blend of spices. Add some cheese, bacon, a few choices of vegetables, and oh my god, it's so good, I need to get some. I'm getting off track. As I was partaking of my delicious fries and answering a few loose emails from work on my phone, a little boy, no older than 9, walks up to my booth and starts to reach for my French fries. I notice him and move my plate away from his grip. He gives me a look I can only describe as a death glare and says, "Give me a fry." I shook my head at him and say, "If you say please, I will share one with you." "Boy, give me a fry." He practically yelled it, drawing the attention of a few others nearby who just shook their heads. I continued to eat and browse my phone. The boy sticks around for a few moments before leaving. Soon afterwards, an older lady comes up with the boy in hand and 3 more young children trailing behind me with a look of utter fury on her face. Lady:
Why won't you give my son a fry?
Me: Excuse me? Lady:
You heard me. Why won't you give him one?
Me: Because he didn't ask for one, and because it's food I paid for. You don't just take food from someone else like he was trying to do. Lady:
This is reflecting poorly on your restaurant. If you think not letting a little boy try one of your dishes is an acceptable thing to do.
That's the point where it clicked that, yes, I had on the exact same shirt the staff were wearing, exception being the logo difference. I point this out to the lady, showing her my IT business logo rather than the restaurant logo. What came next? Well, here it is. Lady:
That's no excuse to not give him a fry. I use
insert company I work for
all the time for my PC repairs. You should give him a fry for having a loyal customer as a mother, but I bet you don't even work there. You don't look like you work with computers. I bet you're just using that as an excuse.
As an aside, I'm 24, I look like I'm 18, and no, I'm not very intimidating physically. I look like that nerdy kid from high school. Me in disbelief: You've gotta be kidding me. What kind of logic even is that? Ma'am, if someone came up to your table and tried to take your food without asking, would that be acceptable to you? Lady:
Of course not, if they didn't deserve it. But we are loyal customers. Now give him your fries.
She pulls the boy towards me a little as she says this, and he once again reaches forward to try and snatch my food. I pull it away again and make a shooing motion with my hand. The lady leaves after letting out a frustrated groan, complete with throwing her hands up in the air dramatically. I continue to eat, wondering what the hell even just happened before she showed up again with the manager in tow. Me: Oh hey Rick, manager. Rick: Hey man, this lady says you stole her food. Me: No, her son tried to take mine without asking nicely. She thinks I work here. Lady:
Well, he does. Look at his uniform.
Rick: Ma'am, he comes in here every week, and I know for a fact he works for insert IT company. I've had him repair my computers here several times. Lady:
Make him give my son some fries, or he will never see us back here again.
Rick: Sorry to hear you say that, ma'am, but I'm not making a good customer of ours give up his food that he paid for unless he wants to. He obviously doesn't want to, so I must ask that if you want to try his dish, we can prepare one just like it in a smaller portion and give you a discount on it. Ignoring Rick, she turns back to me and screams,
Absolutely atrocious. You would treat a child this way.
And with that final dramatic turn, she stormed out of the building without paying. Rick: Shit man, that was special. You want your meal on the house? Me: Nah, that wasn't your fault. Could use a refill on my drink though. Rick: Sure thing, dude. This is actually one of the more believable stories, because in fact, that happened to me a couple of times already actually. But Ripestars, has that ever happened to you? That some random stranger tried to take your food? Please tell us in the comments. Get mistaken as an employee, and I turn into She-Hulk. About 6 years ago, I worked as a phone rep for a telecom company. They had a security rule that you needed to wear a lanyard with your photo ID tag visible at all times. Otherwise, security could get you into trouble, and after a while of working there, I totally forgot that I was wearing it. After this incident, I put myself into the habit of always removing it and putting it in my purse when I left work. One day after work, the boyfriend husband, to be referred to as BH, and I stop at our local wholesale seller that begins with C and ends with O. I like to go during the week since it's less crowded and noisy. I have PTSD and borderline personality disorder, so crowds and loud noises are really hard for me to handle at times. The BH is not only my partner in life, but also acts as my emotional lifeline if I get triggered. He hates it when I refer to him as my service animal. Anyhoozles, we have been there for about 10 minutes when my bladder reminds me that having a large tea at about 3 PM might not have been the best idea and we should probably find the restroom soon. I grab my cell phone but leave my jacket and purse with the BH and head to the restroom. BH walks me as far as he can and then waits with the cart in the book section that is about 20 feet or so away from where I duck into the washrooms. I usually text him when I'm coming back out and he can meet up with me. Now I have to admit, I was wearing a red dress shirt that day, but never in my dreams did I even expect to be mistaken as an employee who wears a red vest. So I am on my way back to BH, who I can see about 20 feet away, when a woman, now to be referred as Stupid Lady or SL, talks to me as I'm walking by her. SL:
Do you know where some item is?
Me: no, sorry. And I start along my merry way to BH. SL:
Excuse me?
Trigger 1, yelling at me. Yay. My heart rate goes up and butterflies start in my stomach. I stop dead in my tracks and turn back to her and just stare at her. What the heck? She stalks up to me and practically snarls.
Where do you think you're going?
She's like less than a foot away from me, leaning forward, very combative stance. Trigger 2, invade my personal space. I can feel my face growing hot and red as I get angry / scared / panicked. Me: excuse me? SL:
You need to do your job and help me. Find me dumbass item.
I then realize that she thinks I worked there and that I should probably defuse the situation and get my triggered butt out of there. So I do the stupid thing and speak to her as I'm trying to get away from her and over to BH so I can calm down. I see him out of the corner of my eye as I start to turn that he's noticed me and is coming towards me. Me: oh sorry, I don't work HEHULK. Trigger 3, grab my lanyard and pull on it, in effect strangling me. We have a winner, folks. SHEHULK is now engaged. Warning, warning. Yes, she actually grabbed my lanyard and pulled on it so I could not leave. And the world for me disappeared completely. I'm told that I froze for a moment, shrieked, knocked her away from me and then lunged at her with my hands out. Fortunately, BH has the reflexes of a cheetah and managed to intercept me before I get a chance to rip her eyes out or quite possibly throat out. He gets me onto the floor where I dissolve into tears. The next thing I know is that yes indeed, I am on the floor, I've been crying and there's not only several employees / managers, but there's also security. I flip out and dissolve into sorries and tears again. I hear SL shrieking at the manager for
hiring unstable people to work in the store.
And
she wants to press charges and sue the store.
The manager is trying to get a word in edgewise that I don't actually work there. BH, however, is being awesome and helping me calm down. Once I'm just down to the shakes, he puts my coat around my shoulders, stands up and walks calmly towards the lady and the manager. Word of note about BH, he's a goofball. He loves to joke and kid around. He's the king of dry wit and bad puns. He's almost always smiling except when he's mad. He shuts down and becomes very still and quiet. It's creepy and scary, and until that day I had not really seen it directed to another living human at the time. Up until then, it was only rages at video games. SL:
I want her arrested and charged for assaulting me. Just wait until I speak to my lawyer. I'm going to own your ass when I'm through with you.
BH: go ahead, call the police, it won't do you any good. SL turns to him and practically growls at him.
You stay out of this.
BH: no, you can shut your stupid mouth and listen to someone for once. Or if you don't shut it, I will finish what my wife started. He said this calmly and quietly and only emphasizing that I am his wife, and SL's mouth snaps shut and she gets a little bug-eyed. There are what? He looks up and counts. 5, 6 cameras pointed in this area. My wife tried to leave and this woman grabbed her tech holder and pulled her back so hard that she's left marks on her neck. My wife, who has PTSD, was triggered by that and tried to fight back. She had no control and we have documentation from her doctors in regards to that in the car, if you need it.
Well,
Store that begins with C and ends with O.
Shouldn't be employing people with mental issues where they can hurt normal people. She should be locked up and...
BH: listen, you stupid ignorant woman. If you would get your head out of your ass for even a microsecond, you would have realized that she does not work here and you have criminally assaulted another customer. Am I getting through your little pea brain now? And yes, he lost his cool completely with her at the end of that. I love this man deeply. He's my knight in slightly dented and rusting armor. He's my lifeline and my little bit of sanity when mine takes a brief vacation. But when he gets mad, it's time to step back and calm down. The woman went white and took a step back away from us. She looked at him, the manager, me and then back to BH and then the manager. Manager: I tried to explain that to you. SL then dissolves into apologies and is trying to backpedal her stupid ass out of there before she gets herself into even more trouble. and backpedals into the police officers the store had called. To make an already long story a little bit shorter, we explained our site, she explained hers, and the manager showed the video, they took pictures of my neck, and SL got a nice new pair of stainless steel bracelets. Me, I got a trip to the emergency, x-rays, more pictures, and some lovely anti-anxiety meds, and was a zombie for about a week after, and then a nervous wreck for about 3 months after. SL made a deal and got off with probation, and we got victims compensation. Unfortunately, I could not go into store that begins with C and ends with O for about a year without anxiety medication. I've said this time and time again, most of the crap you see in r/idontworkherelady is rooted in the
"I'm the customer, I'm better than you, serve me"
mentality that is very much present all over the world. Alright guys, that's all the content I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, then feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I see you tomorrow.